Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kim. Thanks for joining me here. Tonight's video is going to be a little bit of Christmas, our first grocery haul of 2024, and then a few things from the end of 2023 going into our brand new year of 2024. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. Hope you're all doing well. I appreciate you. Thanks for everything in 2023. I look forward to interacting with you on the community board and in the comments in 2024. If you're wondering why I look like I'm frozen, I am. I'm sitting in our car. It's Saturday afternoon, the day before New Year's Eve day. We decided to go on a walk. It's freezing out, ice everywhere. I did half the walk. My husband's doing the other half alone. So I thought I would take that time to do the intro. So until next time, be well and be safe, and I'll see you again. Okay, my husband and I went to a grocery store today, about an hour from home. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it before, but that's where I grew up. So an hour from where we live is where I grew up. From the time I was 8 until I was well into my 20s, and then after that I moved up towards Wisconsin Dells. So that's why we continue to go an hour away from home at least once a month to get groceries, and I'm able to go back home and take a look around at all the places and people and whatnot that I grew up around from the time I was 8 until, like I said, well into my 20s, early 30s. So we go to an employee-owned grocery store for our meat. We always have, I think, for most of our marriage. For one reason, years ago, when we first started going, all of the meat was local. So it was all from local farmers right in the immediate area. And then as time went by, well, of course, then it was basically, we always just call it mystery meat. It's from, many herds across the United States of America. And it's packaged up and sold to grocery stores all across America. And for the most part, it's continued to maintain its quality, and so we've continued to go there to buy our meat. And I don't think in 30 years of marriage we've ever purchased meat anywhere else. So, without further ado, got some ground beef while we were there, $15.97. It is $4.99 a pound, which is basically where it's been for years. I buy 3 pounds of it, and so with the 3 pounds, with 1 pound, I'll make meatballs. And that'll be meatballs for 2 times for us to have spaghetti and meatballs. So that will be, so 1 pound will be cut in half. Half a pound will be the meatballs for one spaghetti meal, and half a pound will be the meatballs for the other spaghetti meal. And then I'll make my husband some sloppy joes because we have some hamburger buns left. And so that'll be 1 meal with a half a pound of ground beef for the sloppy joes. And then I'll make him some taco ground beef with a taco mix in it. And that will be the other half pound. And then for the other 2 halves of a pound, I will make hamburger patties out of those for my husband to have later on for hamburgers. And so really, this 3-pound package of meat will last us several meals and probably close to 2 months if we stretch it out with other meat. And just to get into it quick before I move on, we don't eat a lot of meat, so you're not probably ever going to see a lot of meat in our grocery hauls, and the number one reason for that is meat is very expensive. And I believe in buying it in a bulk amount. I refuse to stray from the store we've always purchased our meat from. And so by doing so, then we have to purchase less meat, eat less meat. And so there you have it. And it's been that way for 30 years, and I doubt it'll ever change. My husband and I also have 2 very different diets. He still will eat processed food or canned food, and I eat just whole food. So just some meat, and then I eat vegetables and salads and fruits and stuff like that. Stuff that you would find at a farmer's market is what I eat. And that's what I need to eat for my health. He will eat some of that, but he prefers a lot of different canned goods or processed food, and that's on him. I've tried to convince him to go to 100%, but you can't force anybody to eat like you do, and I'm not going to try. Here is something that we purchased today that I have probably not purchased, and I don't even think I could go back through every single video because I've only made videos maybe 2.5 years. I think it's been 3 or 4 years since we've had roast beef. So this is a choice beef sirloin tip. The only other kind of roast that were in the bunkers today was rump roast. And I don't think I've ever fixed one of those. If we had in the last 4 years, it would have been a sirloin tip. Or previous to 4 years, I should say. I don't think we've had one in 4 years. So the price on that is $6.49 a pound. And the reason we haven't had it in so long is this has been the price or higher. But I must say this cut here is quite big. Now we're getting 2.49 pounds. Quite big. What we're going to do with that is slice it 3 ways because, you know, we can only eat so much here now. So it's going to be 3 roasts. So I figure, you know, then you're looking at 5 something per piece of meat, and then you split it in half for meals, and there you have it. So, or split it in 3 ways for meals, and then it's for meals for 2. That's a pretty good price. So, and it looked fabulous. So I do get to have a roast beef here after so many years. We picked up some breast tenders. I have learned how to make chicken tenders. We used to go out at least once a month and have pizza on chicken tenders, but that's way too expensive now. When we first started going out, the chicken tenders would be like $2.99 as a appetizer, and then we would get a pizza for like $10. Now the appetizers, you get 4 chicken tenders for $16, and the pizzas are $25. So it's just too much for us. $9.09 for these, and I can make them homemade, and they're at least 2.5 servings at $6.99 a pound, and I have 1.30 pounds. So, and I prefer this Gerber's Amish Farm chicken. We basically go between that and Just Bare. And then some pork chops, which we don't often get. So this is 2 pounds of pork chops, and then we just have, my husband and I each have 1 pork chop. Now, sometimes I do these in the oven with soup. Sometimes I fry his up with barbecue sauce. So, and if he's hungry and says, give me a second pork chop, that's not a problem whatsoever. But I'll only eat 1. So this could be 3 and 3 and 2. We could get 3 meals out of this package, and it was $8.62. And like I said, I fry them, put barbecue sauce on them. I do them in the oven with soup, all kinds of different ways. And we usually have either mashed potatoes with them and then make the gravy with the soup, or we have rice and a couple of vegetables. So that's how I use that up. And that is all the meat that I bought. We already had, well, I think we might have a package of lunch meat. We already have, and I have it all written down now, 2 chickens in the freezer, a turkey in the freezer, a ham in the freezer, and some hot dogs and stadium brats, so, and smoky links. So that in itself would be enough meat for close to 2 months. Probably if I just say 6 weeks, that'll be good. So we have meat like 3, sometimes 4 times a week. And then everything else after that is a vegetable and rice, vegetable and potatoes, stuff like that. You know, salads or whatever. So that is the meat haul for today. Okay, and then we've got just a little dairy haul. We didn't have any more cheese shreds left. And I like to use these on salads, and I also make homemade pizzas, and I also make lasagna. So each one of these was on sale for $1.99 at the same grocery store, not Walmart, and each package was 8 ounces for $1.99. This is the lunch meat he has. We opened the container, and I split it up 4 ways. So it's 4 weeks of lunches, and that was under $5, so that beat Walmart's price. His favorite milk, $4.18. That's basically what it is in every store. Orange juice, this was from Walmart, $4.64. This is 2 weeks of orange juice for his work. So I don't drink milk. I do eat cheese. I don't eat lunch meat. Eggnog, he had never tried this before, and so we found some. Lactose free, and I think it was like $2 or $3 at the employee-owned grocery store. Some water. I just wanted a couple of dollars worth of water. Couldn't find any except for these little bottles, which I'm fine with. So I just refill them. I first like to drink it like this, and then we have a Berkey water filter, and then I just refill them thereon after. I don't really count whether I have 8 ounces or 12 ounces or how much water. I just make sure that I drink water all day. I'm going to be making homemade soups. We picked up some celery, and the celery was under $2. 2 pounds of carrots for our bunnies outside, and that was under $3. We found out that Walmart had a better price by just a few cents. This big bag of Bolthouse Farms, I don't know why they have these massive carrots, because they're really hard to slice, but there you have it. So we've got some carrots for our homemade soup, and those were $3.99 instead of the $3.88 we normally pay at Walmart. Roma tomatoes, 4 of those for $1.99 a pound. This employee-owned grocery store beat the price on apples for everybody. This 3-pound bag of Pink Ladies was $2.99, so we got 2 of them. We got an onion for the soup. That was 49 cents. And then we got some broccoli, $1 a pound. Looks great. And then my lettuce from Walmart, which is $4.68. And I must say, if you get your hands on this lettuce, you will never ever go back to any other kind of lettuce. I don't care what it is. This lettuce is absolutely the best, and this isn't a sponsored video. Also, I noticed that, well, of course, we all know that prices are going up, and just a fair warning, they're going to stay up. So if you know, there's a lot of people that believe, oh, in 2024, the prices of groceries will come down. They will not. The economy may stabilize some. Interest rates probably go down. I probably feel like, you know, and that's the line of work that I'm in. I feel like there'll be 5%, probably 5%, 5.5% by the end of the year, last quarter of 2024. But groceries are never going to go down. They're going to, you know, it's just like rent. Once they raise them up, they justify it to themselves and stockholders that, or shareholders that, you know, this is what we're going to charge for the grocery product. And if they all of a sudden started taking certain products and backing off the price by $1 or $1.50, everyone would wonder, you know, well, why did they increase them to begin with? I mean, gas prices didn't change. This price didn't change. And so once they go up, folks, they stay up. They will take loss leaders and like certain types of breads or certain canned foods and stuff like that, and put those out in an end cap and say, there's your sale for today. But the basic, stable, name brand, and even store brand groceries are going to stay the same. And I mean, I've said this for years. Every time we've had an increase, it's never gone back down. You may find a smaller size, different packaging, repackaging, where they'll take 10 cents off. But in a few minutes, I'll show you a bag of jelly beans. Prices are going to stay the way they are. And if anything, certain things will go up. So we have started, even though I make homemade soup, and I make 3 different types of homemade soup, and that was one of my goals for 2023, to make homemade soup. I don't know, I just find it comforting, this type of soup, chicken with rice by Campbell's. When we first started buying, it was 99 cents a can, and that was probably 3 years ago, before I learned how to make homemade chicken noodle soup. And just recently when I started buying it, it was $1.54, and that was 2 weeks ago, and today it is $1.72 at Walmart. This is just a simple 10.5 ounce can, and it's almost hitting $2. You know, so in 3 years, there you have it. So we bought 4 cans at the employee-owned grocery store because they were under the $1.72. I think they were $1.65. So got 4 of them. Manwich, $1 a can. New Year's is coming up. I just had to have some chips. So imagine this, a bag of chips like this. I don't know. It's a little bit bigger than what I would have had when I was younger in school, wanting a bag of chips. I think those chips back then were probably 12 ounces, maybe. No, they were probably like 4 or 5 ounce bags. And we would get them for $0.25 in the 80s. This is an 8.5 ounce bag. The price on it says $5.99, but I think it was $4.69 at Walmart. I mean, if I had a family, kids and stuff, I'd have to buy 4 or 5 of these bags, so $20-some worth of chips. And I can remember when we were growing up, my mom would buy a box of Old Dutch chips for $1.25, and that lasted us a weekend, a family of 5. So it's just, the prices are just, and have been, are outrageous. We got some oil, first time in probably 20 years that my husband and I have had to buy oil for our car, but because it's 16 years old, it's burning oil. About every 1,500 miles, which I'm told is normal, it's burning a quart of oil. So before our next oil change, rightfully we'll probably have to put 2 quarts of oil in it. So, yeah, I guess, you know, things that come with old vehicles. So that is our produce and our dairy, and I'll be back with the rest. Okay, here's my case in point of some strange things that happen with food in the grocery store. So we have a bag of Brock's classic jelly beans. Oh, I would say for years it was sold in a 16-ounce bag, and I would say that most people probably wouldn't have purchased it for more than $1.50, $1.60 for the 16 ounces of jelly beans. Jelly beans are my favorite candy in the whole wide world. So, and they're only out fresh. Well, I feel like they're only fresh at Easter time. Well, they are starting with Easter in your local Walmarts, and they're also starting with Valentine's Day is in most stores right now, in this area anyways, and Easter is slowly creeping up because, as you can see, there we have it. And this isn't last year's stock, unless I missed this, but last year's stock didn't have this little bunny on the front. That's supposed to distract us when we see that this is 7 ounces, not 16 and not 12, and the bag is only 1/4 of the way full. Now, in the old days, this would be like a handful and a half for Kim. Obviously now, because they're so high in sugar, I probably eat 6 or 7 of them. So 6 or 7, and how many do they say? 10 pieces in a serving. I couldn't eat that nowadays, and about 7 servings. So they're saying there's about 70 jelly beans. Maybe I'll update the video here in the future. I'll count out and see if there's actually 70 jelly beans in here. Last year, a bag like this with more in it was selling for $1. There was a large bag that sells in the candy section that was selling for $5.98. I know this because I bought it before the pandemic, and then I would just eat jelly beans here and there all year long. So this is $1.62. 7 ounces, and the bag isn't even half full. If what they have out in stock right now, and was told that was it, these 2 boxes, I don't know if that's true or not. I assume there will be more by Easter. I mean, one family would go in and just basically clear out the stock in one Walmart. I mean, because if they were doing an Easter hunt or something like that, all the stock's gone. So if you're interested in jelly beans, well, and you're silly like me and willing to spend $1.62 for a couple of handfuls, jelly beans are out at Walmart. So we got some supplies for my selling. I got some tissue paper at a reduced price, $4 for 120 sheets at TJ Maxx. That's all we bought there. I needed some supplies for my eBay, so we got some bubble mailers at Walmart. These are $7.88 for 15 of them. They're 8 by 11s. And some bubble wrap. So, and this was $10.86 for 60 square feet. That'll last me quite a while. 7th generation. Wipes for cleaning the restroom, our bathrooms, $5.79 at Target on sale. Usually they're $6 something. This is the cheapest napkins we find, $230, so we got 460, and it was for under $5 for all of them. Toilet paper was on sale for $14.89 for 18 rolls, 388 sheets per roll, up and up, soft and strong. It was $19.99 at Christmas time. I went to Hobby Lobby just to take a look around and just relax. I like looking at some of the things there. I had been looking for a Nutcracker all before Christmas and after Christmas sales around the area, and that couldn't find any. And here this guy was standing there. $4.66, 66% off at Hobby Lobby. I dye my hair, and here it is, under $4. Had to get deodorant, was out. Asper-Cream for the back. This was $10.99 in Target, so I went to Walmart and got it for $7.80 some cents. Cliff Bars are $7.67 for just 6 of them. Kitty Food is still 88 cents a can, or $10.56 at Walmart for a 12-pack. $8.88 for 150 square feet of foil. I needed some makeup, $6.86 for just powder, $2 and something for Wet n Wild eyeliner. My husband wanted to use some Ivory soap, $1.09 a bar. Doesn't even have a barcode on it, so old. We had to buy these at a grocery store. They're not sold at our Sam's or our Walmart. Zest for this 16-pack was just under $5, and each one of these was $2.50. And that is the rest of our groceries.